Sarah never thought love would feel like a business transaction, but there she was, staring at a prenuptial agreement that made her feel like an employee rather than a future wife. Derek handed her the document over dinner at an expensive restaurant downtown. He smiled as if he was doing her a favor. "Just a formality," Derek said. "My lawyer drew it up. Standard stuff for someone in my position." Sarah flipped through the pages. The terms were brutal. If they divorced, she would get nothing. Zero. Not even if they stayed married for 20 years. Not even if they had children. The apartment they would live in? His name only. The vacation home in Aspen? His. Everything was his, and she was just a guest in his life. "This seems really one-sided," Sarah said. Derek laughed. "Sarah, I have assets to protect. My portfolio alone is worth $8 million. I need to be smart about this." "And what about me? What if I give up career opportunities to support your life?" "You will still have your job," Derek said. "Nobody is asking you to quit." But Sarah knew better. Derek had already started suggesting she should work fewer hours. He wanted her available for his business dinners. He wanted her to travel with him. He wanted a wife who made him look good, not a partner with her own ambitions. Sarah took the prenup home. She did not sign it that night. Instead, she called her sister Jessica. "Let me look at this," Jessica said when they met the next day. Jessica read through the document carefully. Her face grew darker with each page. "Sarah, this is horrible," Jessica said. "He is treating you like you are worthless, like you bring nothing to the marriage." "I know." "Are you sure you want to marry him?" Sarah thought about the past year. Derek was charming and successful, but he was also controlling. He checked her phone. He questioned where she went. He made decisions without asking her opinion. And now this prenup confirmed what she already suspected. He did not see her as an equal. "I want to teach him a lesson," Sarah said. Jessica raised an eyebrow. "What do you mean?" "I want to add my own clause, something that protects me, but I want to bury it in legal language so he doesn't really read it." Jessica smiled. "I can help with that." They worked together for 3 days. Jessica drafted additional pages filled with complex legal terms and references to various marriage laws. Buried deep in Section 7, subsection 4, they added a special clause. The clause stated that if Derek was ever unfaithful during the engagement or marriage, Sarah would receive 75% of his assets. Not just half, 75%. And infidelity was defined broadly to include emotional affairs, secret communications with ex-partners, or any deceptive romantic contact. "He will never read this far," Jessica said. "Men like Derek just flip to the end and sign. They assume their lawyer handled everything." Sarah felt nervous but determined. She had her reasons for adding this clause. Over the past month, she had noticed things. Derek staying late at work, Derek being secretive with his phone, Derek mentioning his ex-girlfriend Victoria a little too often. Sarah had not said anything, she had no proof, but her instincts told her something was wrong. She brought the modified prenup to Derek the following weekend. "I had my sister look it over," Sarah said. "She's an attorney. She added some standard protections for both of us, just to make it more fair." Derek barely glanced at the new pages. "Sure, whatever, as long as the main terms are the same." "They are. I just added clarity on a few things." Derek flipped to the signature page and signed without reading. Sarah felt a strange mix of satisfaction and sadness. He trusted his power so completely that he couldn't imagine her outsmarting him. 2 weeks before the wedding, Sarah's phone buzzed with a message from an unknown number. "You deserve to know the truth about Derek. Meet me at Sterling Coffee tomorrow at noon." Sarah's heart raced. She almost deleted the message, but curiosity won. The next day, she walked into Sterling Coffee and saw a woman sitting alone in the corner. The woman was elegant and looked confident. "Sarah?" asked the woman. "Yes. I'm Victoria, Derek's ex." Sarah felt her stomach drop. This was the Victoria that Derek mentioned constantly, the one he claimed meant nothing to him anymore. "Why did you contact me?" Sarah asked. Victoria pulled out her phone and showed Sarah a series of text messages. They were from Derek. Recent messages. Messages from last week. Messages that said he missed Victoria. Messages that said he made a mistake letting her go. Messages that said once the wedding was over and Sarah was locked in, he would find a way to see Victoria again. Sarah felt sick. "Why are you showing me this?" Sarah asked. "Because I didn't know he was engaged until last month. When I found out, I felt horrible. I don't want to be part of this. And you deserve better than someone who is already planning to cheat before the wedding even happens." Sarah looked at the messages again. There was no denying it. Derek wasn't just having doubts. He was actively maintaining a relationship with Victoria behind Sarah's back. "Thank you for telling me," Sarah said. That night, Sarah did not confront Derek. Instead, she took screenshots of everything Victoria had sent her. She organized the evidence carefully, and she waited. The wedding was supposed to be in 12 days, but Sarah had different plans. She scheduled a meeting with Derek and both of their attorneys. She told Derek it was just a final review before the wedding, something her sister insisted on. Derek showed up relaxed and confident. His lawyer, Richard, was with him. Jessica was representing Sarah. "This should be quick," Derek said. "Everything is already signed." "Actually," Jessica said, "we need to discuss Section 7, Subsection 4 of the prenuptial agreement." Derek looked confused. "What's that?" Jessica slid a copy of the prenup across the table with the clause highlighted. Derek read it. His face went pale. "What is this?" Derek asked. "It's the infidelity clause you agreed to when you signed the prenup. Any act of unfaithfulness during the engagement or marriage results in Sarah receiving 75% of your assets." Derek's lawyer, Richard, grabbed the document and read it quickly. His face also went pale. "Derek, did you read this before signing?" I thought it was the same document," Derek stammered. "You signed it," Jessica said. "It's legally binding." Derek looked at Sarah with panic in his eyes. "Sarah, what is this about?" Sarah pulled out her phone and showed him the screenshots of his messages with Victoria. "This is about you planning to cheat on me before we even got married," Sarah said. The room went silent. Derek tried to speak, but no words came out. His lawyer looked furious. "This is entrapment," Richard said. "No," Jessica replied calmly. "This is a contract your client signed without reading, and this is evidence of behavior that violates that contract." Derek finally found his voice. "Sarah, please, those messages don't mean anything. I was confused. I was scared about getting married." "You told Victoria you made a mistake letting her go. You told her you would see her again after the wedding. That's not confusion. That's planning." Derek looked desperate. "We can work this through. We don't need lawyers involved." "Actually, we do," Sarah said, "because I'm not marrying you. But thanks to the prenup you signed, I'm entitled to compensation for your breach of the agreement during our engagement." Richard tried to argue that the engagement wasn't technically covered, but Jessica had worded the clause carefully. The engagement period was explicitly included. Derek's face shifted from panic to anger. "You set me up. You knew something and you set me up." "I protected myself," Sarah corrected him. "You handed me a prenup that treated me like I was worthless. I added a clause that protected me if you betrayed me. You signed it without reading because you were so confident you held all the power. That's not my fault." Derek stood up. "I'm not giving you anything. We'll fight this in court." "Please do," Jessica said calmly. "We have documented evidence of infidelity during the engagement. The prenup is signed and legal. You will lose, and it will cost you even more in legal fees." Richard pulled Derek aside and whispered urgently. Derek looked defeated. "How much?" Derek asked quietly. 75% of your $8 million, Jessica said. "That's $6 million. Derek looked like he might be sick. Over the next week, Derek's lawyer tried everything to break the contract, but the clause was airtight. Derek had signed it, the evidence was clear, and the law was on Sarah's side. Derek finally agreed to settle. Sarah received $5.5 million, not quite the full amount, but more than enough. She also kept her dignity and her freedom. She used part of the money to start her own marketing firm. She bought a beautiful condo downtown, and she made a promise to herself that she would never again let someone treat her like she had no value. 6 months later, Sarah ran into Victoria at a charity event. "I heard what happened," Victoria said. "I'm glad you got out." "Thank you for telling me the truth," Sarah said. "For what it's worth, Derek contacted me again after you left him," Victoria said. "He wanted to get back together. I told him no. I realized he would do the same thing that he tried to do to you." Sarah smiled. "Sounds like we both made the right choice." Derek lost more than money. He lost his reputation. Word spread in their social circle about what happened. People stopped trusting him. His business suffered. And he learned a painful lesson about underestimating people. Sarah never regretted adding that clause. She never regretted protecting herself. and she never regretted walking away from someone who saw her as less than equal. Sometimes the best revenge is not vengeance. It's simply refusing to accept less than you deserve.